The monsters of Dragon's Dogma 2 are the one area of the game where I am both excited while also somewhat trepidatious. And I say this because I realize that they've shown off a ton of boss fights in the Dragon's Dogma 2 footage that we've seen so far, and all of it looks absolutely amazing in terms of the big bad bosses. But I also know from having played through the first game that the diversity in terms of the overland content was a little sparse, and I'm wondering how they've addressed that for Dragon's Dogma 2. In the first game, when you were going in between the big boss fights, like the Griffin and the Cyclops and the Minotaurs and the dragons and all the things that you see in the footage that they've shown so far from Dragon's Dogma 2, um, in the first game, there was a lot of harpies, a lot of goblins, and a lot of wolves and bandits. Those four general types would show up everywhere. And as fun as it was to fight the bosses and the boss fights, it was not so fun to continually have to claw your way through, groups of 10, 15, 20 normal mobs that would just waylay you because why not? You're playing a game with combat. It should be lots of combat, right? So I do want to take a look at this because they have what looks to be a greater variety of monsters in Dragon's Dogma 2, and I am really hopeful. Again, we won't know exactly until we get our hands on it. We won't know exactly what the ratio of boss fights to generic monster population there's going to be, and if we're going to get more variation on the general monster types in Dragon's Dogma 2. But at the very least, we know we're getting some improved big bad bosses, and some of them look really, really, really cool. So let's take a look at some of the things they've got on their website as far as the monsters that inhabit this world. And it says here you'll need to decide between engaging in battles or finding alternatives. So beware of your party, set up the terrain around you, and the monsters you face. So here we're seeing right off the bat, we've got the Drake, and we got a beautiful screenshot here of a Drake blowing fire on everybody. A monster of the dragon family, the Drake spits out powerful flames and possesses the intelligence to skillfully manipulate magic, and if you encounter one, be prepared for an all-out battle. After that, we've got the Dullahan, a knight covered in spiritual purple flame cradling his own head in his arm. Dude, the footage they showed of this guy recently was really, really cool. The way the head can explode and everything else. He engages in deadly swordplay with a firm stance, and in the dark he transforms into a black mist and stalks the living. It's really awesome. Next up, we've got Talos, who is brand new to Dragon's Dogma 2. It says, bronze giant from the legends rising from the sea with a massive frame that can walk over valleys with ease and simply devastating. And it says, like a divine punishment, it mercilessly brings chaos to the land. This one's probably going to be one of the bigger fights in the whole game, not just for sheer size. We've got wights, such as the priest spirit, holds a grudge, eventually becoming a monster, which hides in darkness, casting powerful spells in succession from the sky, which makes upfront fights difficult because it wields a huge amount of magic. That's going to be hard. We're going to need lots of range for that one. Then we've got Knackers, which it says here is a type of goblins that wields long weapons. They're agile in elevated terrain, good at raiding from higher ground, and if you underestimate their mobility, you may be easily overpowered. What's next? Minotaurs. These look really, really awesome in the videos we've seen so far. Ferocious and extremely fierce, bull-headed monsters. A single hit from their battle axe or charge attack can prove to be fatal. Stay away from those. Cyclops are a carryover from the first game as well. One-eyed giants wielding huge weapons with ease. They won't back down from a fight. Strike their lone eye with ranged attacks, or test your bravery by climbing and attacking the eye directly. It's going to be fun to see how we can make this work. I'm going to be going magical archer, so that guy's eye is going to be a big, brilliant target for me with my archery spells. Rattlers. Ooh, these look cool. Four-legged beasts whose backs seem to be covered in rocks. They appear in mountainous terrains and can be mistaken for giant rolling boulders. If you try to knock them down, you need to aim for the weak spot on their stomach to take them out. Choppers, another type of goblin. These ones live in the shadows of the deep forest. They're quick on their feet. They excel at ambushing and taking advantage of the terrain in which they dwell. By the way, this screenshot, hang on. Oh, I can't. Let's go back one time. I love like this person's kind of looking in the woods like, can I see, did I actually see something there? Is there something there? Are my senses betraying me? Griffins, giant monsters, the wings of an eagle and the body of a lion. They soar high and circle in the sky, striking once spotting their prey. There is nowhere to hide from this giant bird's territory. Dude, the griffins, The first griffin I came across in Dragon's Dogma 1, and then you got to chase it down the tunnel with the wind and everything else. Like, that's a legitimate, that's a scary beast, man. Like, it's scary in The Witcher 3. Like, if you played The Witcher 3, the griffins are scary. They're scarier in Dragon's Dogma 2. Like, legitimately, the griffin is the worst thing I faced. Um, Scary, scary stuff. Undead are always nasty. Rotting corpses reanimated with the forces of evil appearing in the darkness, snuffing out and attacking the living. They are fortunately vulnerable to fire and holy attacks. Excuse me. And skeletons, which also roam. Immortal monsters that perpetually wander in death, nothing but bones with a curse placed upon them that keeps them moving. Beware of their fast movements lest you wish to get hurt, and they can overwhelm you quick. Like if you get a swarm of skeletons, you better run. You better slimes. Slimes that can crawl slowly through complex terrain as the substances in their body dissolve enemies that get in the way. Physical attacks have no effect against this monster. Oh, that's a good tip. Physical attacks have no effect. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. So we're going to need to use magic against slimes. Then we've got ogres. The heinous-looking ogre is known for its formidable strength and its liking for women who smell it, pursues relentlessly, captures, and then attempts to devour. Although large in size, beware of its speed as it rushes towards you. Dude, they were terrifying in the first game, too. Golems. Artificial life forms created by sorcerers made of a strong, impenetrable rock structure that repels magic and physical attacks. The only way to halt its movement is to break the metals on its body. So those are those points right there. Okay. Chimeras, also terrifying. You face one of these in the very first stage of Dragon's Dogma 1. Four-legged, three-headed monsters bearing the visage of a lion, a goat, and a serpent, with each head having its own method of attack, including the ability to bite, cast magic, and poison foes. Chopping off the tail is really, really important. And then getting the goat's head, it's a scary beast. Saurians, which are also terrifying, evolved from the lizard family. They mostly dwell near water and wield spear-like weapons. Dismembering their tails can weaken them and make them lose their will to fight, so it's important to get those taken care of. We also got harpies, which we saw so many of in the first game. Hypnotic screeches can lull you to sleep, which then expose you to their sharp bird-like talons, which is terrifying, believe me. And wolves, which were the bane of my existence in the early days trying to explore at night of Dragon's Dogma 1. I kept getting eaten by wolves. They are terrifying. Kill them all with fire. Hobgoblins are also scary. A higher class of goblin. Experts at hunting prey with flawless movements and their also skilled at handling weapons. Beware not to underestimate them and approach with caution, it says. We've then got goblins of their normal type. Hang on, was that it? Nope. Yeah, it goes back to Drake. So those are all the monsters that are listed on their page. I don't know if this is going to be the totality of all of the monsters in the game. I feel like that's a better representation than what the first game had for sure, and I think this is just a case of, like with everything else we've seen, they are actively working at making Dragon's Dogma 2 bigger and better than the first game, so I think it's natural that we see a greater variety in the bestiary than we saw in the first game. So I'm really excited for this. There's a lot of really cool monsters at play here. I can't wait to face some of these. Talos generally has me nervous because I'm imagining like a Shadow of Colossus type fight where it might take, like, they've talked about 30-minute fights in some of their press material. I have a feeling some of these big baddies like the Griffin and Talos might be up there, but we'll see. Love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We're going to be playing this a lot really, really soon. I pre-ordered mine on the PS5 yesterday. We're locked and loaded and ready to go. So if you like what you saw here today, don't forget to stay tuned for future installments. I am doing videos once or twice a day around Dragon's Dogma 2 news and discussions leading up to the game's launch. So daily streams happen between here and Twitch. There's a Discord, a Patreon. I'll see everybody next time. Stay safe and don't get eaten out there. It's dangerous when you go adventuring.